First up, we're going to talk about showbiz news, happy and sad and controversial, because it's often all of those things, isn't it? Steve Denyer joins me, Virgin Radio presenter. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
We normally just wave at each other on the way to get coffee. It is so nice to have you in the studio.
It's nice to have you on.
I didn't know we were allowed to not have glass between us. I thought it was like a zoo-like thing going on.
It's going to take some time to get used to. It's lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you. Let's talk about the story. Everyone's been talking about this show, The Crown, Series 5, Season 5, the penultimate season. It's arrived now. We had a big premiere last night. Today, as of today, if you've got a nice bit of shift work, you can settle in with the
10 episodes available from 8 o'clock this morning.
8 o'clock this morning, so it's already there on Netflix.
10 hours for you.
But so much controversy about this, because so many people it's talking about are still around.
I think that's it. I think, season 4, lots of us could just about remember some of those goings on. This, we all remember these events. I'm sure you've interviewed people portrayed in season 5. So it's very, very fresh. It's controversial. Who'd have thought that the Queen would have passed away just before this season became available? Dominic West, who plays Prince Charles, as he was called back then, said last night at the premiere that if you want to watch the facts, go and watch a documentary. This is like the Hollywood slant.
But there's been a big controversy that they need. But A, I don't understand why they need to make stuff up, because the real story is so spectacular.
Exactly.
And B, there does need to be something at the beginning of every episode, say, to the Americans. Let's face it, to the Americans. This is largely, a lot of this is fictionalised. Some of it is fact. But a lot of people do think the whole thing is fact. That is an issue if you are talking about people who were there in the meeting and say, well, that didn't happen.
Yes. Yeah, especially around the John Major storyline, with him reportedly speaking to Prince Charles speaking to him about succeeding the Queen. Very controversial stuff. John Major hasn't seen it, but has spoken out about it. I think possibly one of the most controversial aspects of this season is the recreating the Martin Bashir interview. How could they have covered the period of Diana and Charles's divorce without discussing the interview that was basically had made constitutionally changed things, in terms of she basically at that point was never going to stay married to the king, and now king, and she was never going to be queen. How could you not recreate that? No, it's such a pivotal moment. I mean, almost the biggest. There's so many moments to pick from. I mean, just one of these episodes in one of the previous seasons would have been absolutely groundbreaking. But you've got the royal, the Queen's royal, the children breaking up with their partners. You've got the Great Fire. You've got the Martin Bashir interview, and then of course the death of Diana. The death of Diana will be covered in season 6, so it just you just get up to that point in season 5. But it's going to be a very, very interesting kind of couple of nights for me, staying at home and watching this.
Yeah, I'm totally
with I'm a Celebrity as well. You won't see me out.
We will get on to I'm a Celebrity, but I also want to talk to you about 2 sad deaths. Although I have to say, at wonderful old ages. Bill Treacher played Arthur Fowler in EastEnders. He started at 92. Again, absolute, soap opera legend, around for so many years. He's one of those people you almost feel like you're related to. If you watched EastEnders for years, virtually every night you've seen him on your telly. Yeah, and he did so much more. He did Grange Hill. He was in Minder as well. So many brilliant things, movies. But yeah, you're right. The EastEnders. I feel like he's still around now. He hasn't been in it for 30 odd years. But his character in EastEnders, he had a brain hemorrhage, a divorce. He was jailed. It all went on. He's done it all.
He did it all.
And also the death of Leslie Phillips. I mean, legend of the Carry On films.
Yes.
Also the voice of the Sorting Hat in Harry Potter.
Yes. Did you say that you met him?
I did meet him. Ding dong.
Ding dong.
But exactly the same off air as on air. I mean,
really?
Absolutely. I did mention this earlier about 6 o'clock, but if you weren't listening then, because you've got a life. I met him at Radio 4. We were doing a show and we were in the green room, and there was a front page of the News of the World at the time.
Yes.
Was about Nadia Almada. Do you remember she won trans woman ran One Big Brother.
Right.
And there's a picture of Nadia on the front page, and he was saying, I don't understand. What is she? Is she a man or is she a woman? I said, she's a trans woman. Yeah. He said, well, what does that mean? And I said, well, it means that she's living her life as a woman, but actually Nadia was born a man. He goes, no, I don't understand. I said, no. Basically...
he was never going to...
He was of a certain age even then. And he was saying, no. I said, Nadia lives as a woman, looks as a woman, and if you went on a date with her, you'd think it was a woman, but actually if you went to bed with her, you would discover that Nadia is actually a man. And he went... I say. He said, I say, one has to be so careful these days.
Love it.
It was just totally
Brilliant. That's exactly how you would have expected him to be, isn't it?
It was glorious. It was. I just think it was wonderful. And what I love about Harry Potter is how many of the British great actors were in those films.
Yes.
Thank God.
And for a whole new generation discovering people like that. So my nieces will now know who he is. But
let's talk about a whole new generation who are discovering Matt Hancock. He reckons that if we get to know him, we see the real me. Apparently, then we're all going to like him. Well, have we got a clip of what went out on I'm a Celebrity last night?
This is brilliant. Look at this.
We've seen one of the characters coming out because of having some health problems, and they've decided to bring Matt Hancock in that little bit earlier. Yeah. This is what they teased on I'm a Celebrity last night.
This experience will be an adventure. When I'm in camp, people will just see the real me. Survival in the jungle is a good metaphor for the world I work in. People will see me, warts and all, see the human side of the guy behind the podium. I don't think I've got any fears or phobias, but I'm about to find out.
Good morning. That was absolutely. I was going to say good morning. I'm coming back from a break. It was just that clip. I mean, does Matt Hancock seriously, Steve? Does he really seriously think that he is going to be more popular because we get to know him?
I mean, Deluded doesn't even cover it, does it? There was I stayed up late for you last night, by the way, and it was right at the end of the episode, the last 30 seconds.
They're teasing everybody.
Then he appeared, this big cheesy grin.
I'm already an episode behind because I go to bed too early.
Yeah, well, exactly. So you have to wait right to the end. But tonight, so what I can tell you is he's been put in the harshest camp. It's called Snake Rock.
Yes.
He has never seen a snake in his life, apparently. There's plenty of jokes there. We won't go there. But yes, it's going to be interesting tonight. I think the nation's poised with the number.
Oh, I mean,
it will be a redial. We are ready for it. So anything can happen in the next couple of weeks.
He's got trench foot or something for this SES show he did. So he can't do certain tasks. Well, just make sure all the tasks are things that he can do is all I can say. Nothing to stop you eating kangaroo testicles.
I'm in. I can't wait.
I just literally cannot wait. This is going to be great fun. I just have a horrible feeling that seeing the real me of Matt Hancock is not going to be good for him.
It's going to be scary.
So good to see the real you.
Lovely to see
Thank you very much indeed, Steve Junior there from Virgin Radio.